I think we got back to where we wanted to be last year. In the 2015 season, we definitely didn't take the momentum that we had started in 2014. Took a big step back in 2015, but was excited to see 2016 come back to where we want to be as a program. Ended 9-9 on the season, which I think was probably the best 500 season that I could have asked for. We had some highlights throughout the season with some big wins against conference opponents such as Wittenberg during the regular season. Oberlin as well was in that mix, both teams that are traditionally pretty strong programs, so we're excited about some of the momentum we built last year.
Last year I think we might have started off like a little bit slower than I had anticipated, but then as we built momentum and ended up getting a spot in playoffs, we were really excited. We really pushed ourselves. I think it was a big year for growth for us. And so I'm really excited to see how that's going to translate into this year. Having lost a decent amount of seniors, I think we were a little bit worried, but our freshman class is really strong. And we've got a big senior class this year who are all stepping up. And so I'm really excited to see how last year's push can even get us even further this year and hopefully one step closer to that NCAC championship.
Looking into this season, want to take some of those close losses that we had last year, like Buff State, where we only lost by 2. And turn that into a win this year. Last year we made it to the semifinals, which was great for us to get back into the playoff spot. A little disappointed that we didn't make it to the championship game after a regular season win against Wittenberg, but I think we learned a lot of lessons that we need to prepare in September, October, January, February, and so forth, and not hope that that playoff win is going to come naturally. But we have to put in all the little work along the way to get those playoff wins. This year, really excited about where the program's headed. Like I said, want to take some of those close losses last year and turn them into wins. I've given the team a 13-3 prediction. Leave them some room to have some bad days, but certainly want to have more good days than bad days this year. Was nervous about the youth that we would have in the team this season. Not only youth meaning young players such as our freshmen, but also some sophomores playing in positions that they didn't play in last year. Youth meaning leadership roles, having some underclassmen from last year now be upperclassmen and be forced to put into some leadership positions and really needing to excel in those opportunities. I was nervous about it, apprehensive about it, but certainly they've come out strong. We saw in the preseason scrimmage down at University of Pitt when we played Edinburgh that we're certainly ready to be a strong returning veteran group. Though we do have some freshmen on the roster that will be certainly getting a lot of minutes, they're playing like upperclassmen, and that's what's important. Those upperclassmen have really pulled the freshmen along, and we're in a great place at this point in time as we head into season today to highlight the freshmen as upperclassmen and have those upperclassmen really flourish in their positions and take the opportunity to step into the shoes of a large senior class that we lost last season.
I think it's great because there are 8 of us who are all really involved and just really strong on and off the field, and so you can't pinpoint all the leadership just on 1 or 2 people. I think we all have a play in that, and so having been just well versed in the game and really experienced in playoffs and having experienced just a lot of ups and downs, I think that kind of leadership is going to be really helpful to the underclassmen who are a little bit nervous going into the season and don't really know what to expect. Having a bigger freshman class as well, we almost can like pair up with the underclassmen and be able to encourage them and walk alongside them and really just set an example of what it looks like to work hard and watch it pay off.
So we've also been doing a lot of work with Coach Kraft. Shout out to our peak performance coach. She's been great for us this year in making sure that the girls are faster, stronger, and are able to do some of the things on the field that they haven't been able to do in the past. She's made them a lot more flexible and finding some of that strength in places they didn't know that they had muscles has really been able to make us stronger on the field as well. Our shooting looks better, our passing looks more crisp, our footwork's more disciplined, so we're thankful that we've had the opportunity to work with her. On the attacking side, as you mentioned, we do have Christine coming back, which is great. Had after 3 major surgeries, back on the field, and love seeing her out there. She has phenomenal stick work and can really glide it through the defense. Looking forward to utilizing her this season now that she's healthy. Alexa Maloney, who's been a starter since her freshman year, has really stepped up big time. She worked hard in the offseason and knew that she needed to fill some leadership roles on the attacking side with the loss of Jackie Morrow and Mackenzie Bell, and has really taken that as a challenge this summer and worked her butt off and is ready to go this season. Should see her put a lot of points up this year, both on the goal side as well as the assist side. As you mentioned, Shelby Piper has always been solid for us, really looking for her to turn into a leader this year. She's been on the back end of Mackenzie's assists for 2 years now, but looking for her to be the one to not only put the goals in, but also be the one that is assisting now this year as well. Moving into the midfield, we have a fast midfield, which I'm always really excited about. Athletic, talented, have some strong veterans returning in that group, including Jeannie Kirk as a senior, who's been running the show for quite some time now in the midfield. Katie Weiss in the junior class as well. Veterans coming back that will continue to lead some of the younger members of that midfield group, including Alex Zielinski. Jessie Thiessen will be coming into the midfield this year, which will be exciting to see, taking her speed from the defense last year and throwing her in the midfield, as well as some others in that group, Taylor Vigneri, as well as Lexi Einzig, that will be great contributors to our midfield group. Have some freshmen as well that will be coming off the bench strong this season in that midfield group. What I love about our midfield this year is that we have a lot of flexibility. So some will see themselves starting on attack, some will see themselves starting on defense, but we have a nice group that can really be flexible and play in any position. I think our midfield group this year will be our strongest component to making sure that we're a successful bunch and being able to use that flexibility and move them around depending on our opponents.
I'm a big fan of the quick clear. I don't like to hold on to the ball for too long. If I see someone open down the field, I'm going to try to nail it out to them. So having, like Coach Hughes said, a really quick midfield is really helpful for me, because as soon as I look up, I'm seeing Laurence, I'm seeing Jeannie, I'm seeing Lexi, and I can just get it out there as quick as I can, and that makes for a really great transition into the attack where they can really pummel the goalie down there with very few defenders being able to keep up with us.
Down into the defense, have a pretty solid core coming back, led by Lenny Brown and Bree Freeman. We have Alex Grob, who was a midfielder last year, sliding down into the defense, and first-year sophomore Laurence Boos coming in this year as well, that we'll see a starting position. And then, of course, we have our returning starting goalkeeper that has been starting in that position since her freshman year, Kaelin Clogan. Pumped about that. Challenging her this season to get the all-conference nod that she had her freshman year. Really hoping that she can lead in the back there. When she has big games, the team has big games. So putting a little pressure on her this year to really step up as a leader, as a captain, and make sure that we have some great success on the field.
I think back to freshman year when I was getting games that I had that many saves, and I anticipate it continuing to decrease, and that's just because my teammates have been so good at getting the ball out of the 8, getting it down on attack and keeping it down there for a longer period of time. Not to mention the shots that I do get are a lot easier because they're cutting off the good angles for the attackers to use. And so overall they help me as much as I help them, and so it's really nice having experienced defenders in front of me who I know I can count on to just give me the best play that I can manage.
We had some big losses last year, some starters that we had to figure out how we were going to replace this season, but I'm excited that the upperclassmen have really taken the opportunity to fill those shoes, and not just fill them, but be better than what they were. I think that they've also allowed for a lot of creativity. They're working a lot as a team. So we won't have as much individual success, I think, this year. We'll have a lot more team success, which has always been a big part of my coaching philosophy.
My goals for this year, definitely to help out my defenders more. I want to be that 8th defender, step out of the crease a little bit, get a few more interceptions, and just not be afraid to go after those ground balls. So that's a huge goal for me. And as a whole, for the defense to really put on the pressure. That's what our defense is designed for. It's designed to make the attackers kind of freak out, so that they make mistakes and that we can capitalize on those mistakes. So I look forward to kind of encouraging them in that and really giving pointers throughout the game, and just be an advocate for my teammates. And when we're letting in a few goals, to gather them together and get us pumped, and hopefully we'll be the backbone to that NCAC championship that I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting.
Certainly the fastest preseason we've ever had with Denison on Saturday. Really shakes you and makes sure that you're ready to go and you have all those little details ironed out. I can't say that we'll have everything put together by Saturday. Certainly we're usually using that non-conference preseason play, pre-conference play to work out the kinks, but going to have a really tough one on Saturday, our most competitive game of the year, making sure that we have everything together by then. But coming off of Edinboro, playing a game down at Edinboro, as well as the Pitt Club team, we saw some really great competition in our preseason, saw a lot of speed, saw a lot of things that we'll see in our conference play this year, and I thought that it was a good chance for us to evaluate where we are. And I think that was the moment, the turning point for me, when I knew that youth wasn't a question anymore and we were ready to be a successful team and really go together this year and making sure that we were ready to be successful. The weather's been awesome for us, had a lot of opportunity to get up onto the turf, see a lot of full field play. Traditionally, the snow's been an issue for us from time to time, but this year we are thankful for the opportunity to be able to get outside, which has really stepped up our game.
It would mean so much. I feel like this is all we've been working towards for my 4 years. We came really close my freshman year. That was a great season. Struggled a little bit sophomore year, but junior year got back on the horse, and I'm really excited to see what this year is going to look like and the legacy that we can leave behind. Hopefully people would look back on us and see our hard work and dedication and how we were just putting our heads down and trucking through and just keeping positive and hopefully giving the vibe that we are a blue-collar team, and nothing that we earn is just given to us and something that we work towards. So I'm really excited for it.